Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 15, verse 45. Sarvetam anunirjagmur.
Sarvetam anunirjagmur.
Bhratara kritanishchaya.
Bhratara kritanishchaya.
Kalina dharma mitrena.
Kalina
Drishtva sprishtha prajapuri.
Drishtva prajapuri.
Sarvetam anunirjagmur.
Sarvetam anunirjagmur.
Bhratara kritanishchaya.
Bhratara kritanishchaya.
Kalina dharma mitrena.
Kalina dharmamitrena.
Drishtva sprishtha prajapuri.
Drishtva sprishtha prajapuri.
Priti Rukmini.
Sarvetam anunirjagmur.
Sarvetam anunirjagmur.
Bhartara kritanishchaya.
Bhratara kritanishchaya.
Kalina dharmamitrena.
Kalina dharmamitrena.
Drishtva sprishta prajabhumi.
Drishtva sprishta prajapuri.
Divya Rupa.
Sarvetam anunirjagmur.
Sarvetam anunirjagmur.
Bhratara kritanishchaya.
Bhratara kritanishchaya.
Kalina dharmamitrena.
Kalina dharmamitrena.
Drishtva sprishta prajabhuvi.
Drishtva sprishta prajapuri.
Sarvetam anunirjagmur.
Sarvetam anunirjagmur.
Bhratara kritanishchaya. Kalina dharma mitrena. Drishtva sprishta prajabhuvi.
Nanda Kumar.
Sarvetam anunirjagmur.
Sarvetam anunirjagmur.
Bhratara kritanishchaya.
Bhratara kritanishchaya.
Kalina dharmamitrena.
Kalina dharma mitrena.
Drishtva sprishta prajabhuvi.
Drishtva sprishta prajabhuvi.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Ave Charnaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.
Synonyms. Survey all his younger brothers.
All his
Younger brothers.
Thumb him.
Him.
Anunirjagmu left home by following the elder.
Anunirjagmu left home by following the elder.
Bhratara brothers.
Bhratara brothers.
Kritanishchaya decidedly.
Kritanishchaya decidedly.
Kalina by the age of Kali.
By the age of Kali.
Adharma, principle of irreligion.
Adharma, principle of irreligion.
Mitrena, by the friend.
Mitrena, by the friend.
Drishtva, observing.
Drishtva, observing.
Observing.
Sprishta, having overtaken.
Sprishta, having
overtaken.
Praja, all citizens.
Praja, all citizens.
Bhuvi, on the earth.
Bhuvi, on the earth.
Translation, please repeat after me. The younger brothers of Maharaja Yudhishthira
The younger brothers of
Younger
Maharaja
brothers of Maharaja
Yudhishthira
Yudhishthira
observed that the age of Kali had already arrived throughout the world,
observed that the age of Kali had already
arrived
throughout the world,
and that the citizens of the kingdom were already affected by irreligious practice.
And
that the citizens of the kingdom were already affected
the
by the
kingdom
religious practice.
was already affected by irreligious practice.
Therefore,
Therefore,
they decided to follow in the footsteps of their elder brother.
they
decided to follow in the footsteps of their
they
elder brother.
decided to follow the footsteps of their elder brother.
Purport. The younger brothers of Maharaja Yudhishthira were already obedient followers of the great emperor, and they had sufficiently been trained to know the ultimate goal of life. They therefore decidedly followed their eldest brother in rendering devotional service to Lord Sri Krishna. According to the principles of Sanatan Dharma, one must retire from family life after half the duration of life is finished and must engage himself in self-realization. But the question of engaging oneself is not always decided. Sometimes retired men are bewildered about how to engage themselves for the last days of life. Here is a decision by authorities like the Pandavas. All of them engaged themselves in favorably culturing the devotional service of the Lord Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. According to Swami Sridhar, Dharma, Arth, Kam, and Moksha are fruitive activities. Philosophical speculation and salvation, as conceived by several persons, are not the ultimate goal of life. They are more or less practiced by persons who have no information of the ultimate goal of life. The ultimate goal of life is already indicated by the Lord himself in the Bhagavad Gita 18.64, and the Pandavas were intelligent enough to follow it without hesitation.
Hariom Tatsalam Jnana Divirandasi Jnana Jnana Salakya Chakshurungal Jnana Tasmi Sri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangun Lakai Tegitin Nirvatamham Munde Sri Guru Dena Tarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanyam Ishwaram Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vristaya Bhutale Sri Mathe Jaya Pathaga Swami Iti Namine Namo Acharya Padaya Nitaya Kripa Pradayine Gaurakatha Thamathaya Nagara Grama Tarini Nama Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitina Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Sunava Paschatya Desata Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama Krishna Yadavaya Nama Hare, Gopala Govinda Ram, Sri Madhusudana, Mukha Karudi Vachalam Pangulanga, Pata Mohammed, Sri Guru Karinam Paramanda Matavam, Sri Chaitanya Swaram. Hari Om Tat Sat. So another beautiful words wherein everybody followed Yudhishthira. In fact, Yudhishthira was following what Arjuna did earlier, because Arjuna was the first one to recover from all kind of calamities and the effect of Kali, what was to impose on them, and the depression and demo and the morose state into fully enthusiastic, intelligent devotee by simply remembering Krishna's past tense, each second that happened in the past with Krishna. And we have been going through all those past tense as Arjuna was remembering in this chapter. Now comes Yudhishthira's turn as the eldest brother and as the emperor of the whole planet. He had different responsibilities comparing to Arjuna. So he has handed over everything very nicely, and he took in such a deterministic way of retiring, not even retiring, renouncing, and then getting into the full-time devotional service, full of his mind and body and words, kaya, manasa, vacha, everything. He is, Krishna Arpito. He is surrendering unto Krishna, and that was the instruction by Krishna in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and probably the Pandavas were the first one to follow Srimad Bhagavad Gita perfectly, so that we can understand from these particular words. So here, Kalina Dharma Mitrena. So this Kalina, that means Kalina Adharmena. The two mixed together becomes one. That is why it is Kalina Dharma. It is not Kalina Dharma, it is Kalina Adharma actually. And Kali means quarrel, unnecessarily quarrel. For small misunderstanding, big war. That is Kali Yuga, by the age of Kali. This is the age of Kali in which we are all living. And there are 4 ages, as all of you know: Satya, Treta, Dwapara, and Kali. From Satya to Kali, the ages are degrading in quality. Gradual degradation happens. This nature's way is to degrade. So that is nature's way. Time chapter. Time works in that way. Just like you will construct a very nice house today, good looking, fresh, but by ages it will become very old. Your body, my body, in youthhood it was very beautiful, and in due course of time it will become very ugly. Your body, now it may be very beautiful, it will become very ugly like me in old age. So this is the work of the time actually. Similarly, the natural's way, there are 4 ages, as I told you: Satyuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga. Seasonal changes. And in Satyuga, the religious principles are followed very strictly, 100%, without any deviation. That is why it is called the Satya Yuga. And when it came, the time influence of time has converted light degradation in the Satyuga, transformed into Treta Yuga. 25% of the quality, strictness of following religious principle have reduced. That is Treta Yuga, 25% reduced. That means 75% religious principle and 25% irreligious principle. This is Treta Yuga. And comes Dwapara Yuga, 50-50. 50% religious and 50% irreligious in every individual person. And this is Kali Yuga, 75% irreligious and only 25% religious. Gradually reducing, to almost no more religion. That is what it is coming down to. Then it's finished. Then there will be devastation. And again, Satya Yuga will begin. This is the way of change of this Chatur Yuga, Satyug and Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga. So the duration of Satya Yuga is about 1800,000 years. 1800,000 years. 100,000, 1800,000. Similarly, Dwapara Yuga, Treta Yuga, about 1200,000 of years. And Dwapara Yuga was 800,000 of years. And this Kali Yuga is only 400,000, 432,000. So this is the beginning of Kali Yuga. Now we are in just the beginning of Kali Yuga, because the Kali Yuga tenure is for around 400,000 years. We have only crossed 5,000 years. Out of this 400,000 of years, we have just passed 5,000 years. Not only 400,000, 432,000 exactly. That is Kali Yuga's duration. That is regular circulation of this Vedic Shastra. So out of that, we have passed 5,000 years. That Kali Yuga has begun just after the battle of Kurukshetra, as soon as Krishna left the planet, physically from the visibility. So we have passed only 5,000 years of this Kali Yuga. And there are still balanced 447,000 of years still balanced to see. So the Kali's friends, Mitrena, the Kali's friends, just like a man is known by his company. So Kali Yuga is the age of irreligion. So Kali's friend, therefore quarrel and fighting. Quarrel and fighting, communal fighting. Necessarily they will form a community, a group, all rascals, another group of rascals. Like that, they will fight unnecessarily. The nationalism. This is simply a group of rascals or fools. Rascal means fools. They don't understand who they are, what they are supposed to do in their life. Neither the leaders know, nor the citizens. So that's all. So because why foolish? Another example for foolish means irreligious. Therefore, they are rascals or fools. Big men, big scientists, big philanthropists, big politicians, big leaders. Still they are rascal. Why? Because of a religion. They don't know what is God. Therefore, they are a rascal or fool. So this is the only test. Whether you know God, no, sir. Then you are a rascal. That's all. No matter what you are otherwise. No more test is required. Only one test. One test is just sufficient, whether you know God. Because this human life is meant for knowing God. And if you don't know God, then you are rascal. Rascal means it's like animal life, fools. Animals are fools. They don't know God. So this particular, ISKCON all over the world, the Prabhupada is established. It's not meant for cats and dogs. It's meant for human beings. And if you don't know God, then you are a fool. So you are exactly like the cats and dogs. They don't know God. That's all. So that is a verdict. Now you can fight. Why you are calling me cats and dogs? We are following Krishna, the great authority. But what Krishna says, that is always right. If you scrutinize by your logic and argument, philosophy, science, then also you will find that Krishna is perfectly right. So we accept Krishna. Unless Krishna is perfectly right, why should we accept Krishna? Isn't it? So if he is an ordinary, say, one amongst the rascals, then why? What is the use of reading his book, Bhagavad Gita? No. All the acharyas, all the saintly scholars, they have accepted. Therefore, we have accepted. Because he is beyond all faults. What is the difference between ordinary man and a liberated man? A liberated means not under the conditions of material nature. He is called a liberated. Liberated means who is not conditioned by the laws of nature. He is called a liberated. So Krishna, he is the liberated supreme personality of God. Therefore, he has no defects at all. And we are not liberated. So we have 4 defects. The 4 defects are that, yesterday also I told, number 1, we commit mistake. Anyone you see, big man, he must commit mistake because he is not liberated. He is under the laws of material nature. So he must commit mistake. That is a symptom of he is under the laws of material nature and he is not liberated. Committing mistake. Committing mistake. Can you say, I have never committed any mistake? Is there anybody who could say in this conditioned world? However learned scholar you may be, commit mistake is inherent because you are not liberated. Similarly, the second defect we have is to become illusioned. Illusion means to accept something which you are not, or which is not the fact. That is called illusion. Just like sometimes we see that the sun is on the western side, but reflection is on the glass, and the glass is reflecting some light. So we are thinking that the sun has come to the other side. We have got this experience, right? Sun is this side, reflecting the sun shining, and on the glass or on mirror, and the same reflection is this side. So we are thinking that sun is this side. So the sunlight is coming. That is called illusion. This is one example of illusion, which is not a fact. So, but it is appearing, false thing appearing as truth is called illusion or Maya. That is the explanation of Maya. Ma means not, Ya means this. So Maya means what you are experiencing that is not true. Like we feel ourselves as this body. This is our experience. This is untrue. We are not this body. So it is Maya. This particular experience. This is Maya. So a conditioned soul, a child will think that although the fact is sun is this side, by seeing the reflection in the glass, a child may say the sun is on the other side. That is called illusion. So we are all illusion because we accept this body as self. That's the first illusion, you see. And I'm thinking about myself, what I am not. What you are? Oh, I'm Indian. I am engineer. I am man. I am Hindu. I am Brahmin. I am father. I am son. I am American. Why? Because this body is Indian body, male body, father body, and so on. But I am not this body. So, but we accept it is going on. This is called illusion. This illusion is going on with every living entity, even in the human form of life, unfortunately. Wherein human form of life is meant to get liberated. Liberated means you will not be under the illusion. You will not commit a mistake. The defects will not be there for the liberated soul. But as long as you are not liberated, this illusion is going on. Mistake is going on, illusion is going on. And in spite of becoming illusioned and mistaken, I am posting myself as great scholar, great learned scholar, philosopher, scientist. I want Nobel Prize, therefore cheater. But I don't know the things because I'm already illusioned that, and I am also committing mistake. And still I am proving that I am theologian, I'm scientist, I'm philosopher. Then change again. I say today something and tomorrow I will say different thing as the same truth. I will refute myself. I will contradict myself with proofs because I am mistaken, illusioned. I must go on speaking like that nonsense. Today something, tomorrow something else. And this is going on, called advancement. And why the change? Because it is advancement. That is what is. What is this advancement? If you don't know something as real, you say something today and tomorrow you say some different thing. The same mistake again. Day after tomorrow you say again different thing because you're committing mistake again and again and again and again. You say something, where is your knowledge then? There is no knowledge. Yesterday I told you knowledge means that which doesn't change, like 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. Or this Bhagavad Gita, which spoken 5,000 years ago, today also it is the same. This is called knowledge. But a newspaper is lost its truthfulness the moment it is printed. The news is no more true. So, and this particular person who is posing as if they are man of knowledge and they are getting Nobel Prizes. This is called cheating. This is the third defect, cheating propensity. Those who are cheated, they are accepting this cheating knowledge. Therefore, the whole human society is full of cheaters and cheated. Yesterday also we saw cheaters and cheated. So, this is very, very important. Somebody says that, why you are speaking that these men are cheaters and cheated and illusioned in Maya? No, because the senses are imperfect. This is the fourth defect. Because the senses are imperfect, because you are gathering knowledge by the senses. There are 5 senses which are acquiring knowledge, and the 5 senses act according to that knowledge. And these sense objects, they are defective. There are sense objects, just like you have got eyes. You have to see something objective, rupa or form. The knowledge acquired by the eyes is to understand the form. Similarly, the knowledge acquired by the ears is to acquire knowledge from the sound, because physical means the sound, the light, the form. These things are physical things. So we have got senses to acquire knowledge. So 5 knowledge acquiring senses we have, and we have 5 working senses, and we have 5 sense objects. And then I am there, apart from this 50. This is called the 16th elements. So, and then 5 material elements we have: earth, water, fire, air, and 5 subtle elements we have. I mean 3. 5 plus 3, 8. We saw earlier 2 days before also. So in this way, the whole world, this universe, cosmic manifestation, is a composition of these 8 elements plus the 16. That is 24 elements. 16 plus 8, 24 elements. And beyond these 24 elements, I am the soul. And beyond myself, there is the super soul, the supreme personality of God in localized aspect. This is called knowledge. This is knowledge. So without this knowledge, nobody is perfect. And without being perfect, if we hear from somebody who is not perfect, it is simply a waste of time. And that's the symptoms of Kali Yuga. Therefore, it is said, Kalina Adharma Mitrena. Adharma Mitrena. And the Adharma Mitra, this is the composition of the ignorance. Friends means what? Which friends help me to keep me in this perpetual ignorance? These are illicit sex, intoxication, meat eating, and gambling. These are all the 4 friends of Kali. You associate with those 4 friends, you will be very easily advancing under the influence of Kali Yuga. This is the fact. Kalina Adharma, Adharma Mitre. So formerly the kings, the government men, king means the supreme executive head of the government, they could understand that these things are now coming. Drishtva, seeing practically, Drishtva Sprishta Prajapi. So they see practically, because as soon as people are addicted to these 4 principles of illicit sex, meat eating, intoxication, and gambling, where everyone can see, that means Kali Yuga. So how they saw? They saw the practical. They know how to see. Just like in the chemical laboratory, they see the characteristic of a certain thing analyzed. And they say, yes, it is perfect. It is not perfect. Because these things are wanting, so it is not pure. It is adulterated. Chemical examination, right? So if these characteristics are there, in every chemical book, every chemical has got some characteristics, right? Just like potassium cyanide. The chemical examiners have not experienced what is the taste. Because as soon as you taste, you will die. So nobody can tell what is the taste of the potassium cyanide. So you know this. So therefore, in the chemical, there is not mentioned the taste of the potassium cyanide. The taste is not mentioned because nobody can know the taste, and anyone who touches on the tongue immediately dies. And nobody has still today tasted. So there is a Hindi word in India, Delhi ka laddu ya kaya abhipasthaya ya lakh. So that means you make laddu, that is Delhi laddu. It is a very slang language, Delhi ka laddu ya kaya. So that is so made that one who has tasted it, he laments. And who has not tasted, he laments. Both of them will lament. So this potassium cyanide is like that, a chemical. The chemists, because they do not know what is the taste, so they say that we don't know. Analysis is imperfect. You see, their analysis is imperfect. They can never analyze the taste by any other means other than tongue. And the tongue touches their diet. So they can never experience it, and they can never explain the taste of the cyanide. Just see the imperfection, solid imperfection proof you have here. And those who have tasted, they cannot say because they died already. This is the position. So we need to understand that so many things like that, And in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is given Yan Maitunadi Gritamedi Sukham Tucham. Maitunadi means sexual intercourse. Yan Maitunadi Gritamedi Sukham Tucham Kandu Yani. Karayot iva dukkha dukkham. It is a pleasure, just like itching sensation only. It's all described, Yan Maituradi. Grahamedi. Grahamedi means a so-called householder. There are two words, Grahamedi and Grahastha. Grahastha means that is called, he has an ashrama to live. Graha is an ashrama in which he follows religious principles, Sanatana Dharma, chanting Hare Krishna, keeping Krishna in the center. And a devotee, he is a Grahastha ashrama, to live with wife and children. But the business is how to develop Krishna consciousness. That is called a Grahastha ashrama. That is what is recommended by Srila Prabhupada and his God. And where there is no such attempt how to develop Krishna consciousness, simply living like cats and dogs with wife and children. They have also sex life. They also produce children. They also eat. They also work. Such kind of life, household life, working day and night simply for sense pleasure. And at night they have got sense pleasure. That is also described in Bhagavatam. That is, at night either they sleep or enjoy sex life, and in daytime simply work very hard. Where to get money, where to get money, where to get money. And as you get money, spend it for maintaining your family. Nidraya hriyate naktam. Nidra means sleeping. Hriyate means that night is past. Nidraya hriyate naktam. Vyavayena chabhavaya. Srimad Bhagavatam says, one who has got facility to enjoy sex, so night is past. Everyone has practically, two things, sleep or sex at night. And then at daytime, artha means money, ihaya means trying to get that money. So this is going on. All right, they're getting money. Then kutumba barane nava, spending for kutumba, for the dependents, that's all. So finish. Then where is the time for Krishna consciousness? That is called Grahamedi. Grahastha means they will see whether every moment is utilized for Krishna or not. That is Grahastha. Otherwise, it is Grahamedi. So human civilization means Grahastha, not Grahamedi. If you become Grahamedi, then you are cats and dogs, rascal. And if you become Grahastha, then you are nice. Then you are advancing towards self-realization. That's required. Because the cats and dogs, they cannot become Grahastha. That is not possible for them. If you say, if you have got a dog, you get another female dog. My dear dog, you get your wife very peacefully, chant Hare Krishna. No, sir, it is not possible. Because I am dog. Because I am dog, therefore I cannot be satisfied. I must find out another illicit sex and create trouble. Then fight. So this is, fight. That is Kali Yuga. Unnecessarily create by illicit sex like enemy and then become killed and finish your life. That is called Grahamedi. Grahamedi, you require wife. That's all right. Take wife. There is no scarcity of wife. Live peacefully. Chant Hare Krishna. No. I have got my wife. I want another. I want another. I want another. Like dogs. Yes. So the dog civilization cannot help us. This will not help. Human life is meant for something else. Nayam deho dehabacham loke kashtan kaman arhate vidpujan. Srimad Bhagavatam propagates. Everything is discussed in this Bhagavatam. Therefore, we request the whole human society to read these valuable Srimad Bhagavatam. They are missing the opportunity. Let them read these books, then life will be successful. So this human life is not meant for living like cats and dogs. That is said in the Bhagavatam itself. You will find in the 5th canto, 5th chapter, Rishabhadeva is teaching to his 100 sons, including Bharat Maharaj, who is the eldest son. Every word is so valuable. So in these verses now, we saw here, Sarve Tham Anunir Jagmur. Every word is how valuable is it. Tham Anunir Jagmur Bhratara. How ideal brothers they are. My elder brother is retiring, going to the Himalayan side. All the brothers will follow. When the elder brother was king, they acted. They did not fight that we are 5 brothers. Why you shall become king? No, I shall become king. No, there was no fight at all amongst the Pandavas to bring the kingdom. All of them cooperatively assisted Yudhishthira Maharaj to be the emperor. The elder brother Maharaj Yudhishthira was enthroned. And the other brothers, they acted as commanders of the soldiers. One brother is going one side of the earth to fight to subdue the rascals. There was fight to subdue the rascals, not for ambition. Because he was emperor, so anyone who is doing wrong irreligiously, go there and fight. That was fight. That is called dharma yuddha. Just like you can maintain police force, military force. What for? Whenever there is outlaws, go and punish them. That should be the system. That should be the system. Military force is required. Violence is required. When there is irreligious, there must be. They must be made religious. And because such government was there, that we have discussed during Maharaja Yudhishthira's time, everything was peaceful, Even people did not suffer from excessive heat or cold here. This is also another punishment, actually. Just like disease is one punishment. Similarly, excessive heat and excessive cold is another punishment. That is not very good. But Yudhishthira Maharaj's kingdom was so nice during his time, they did not feel the excessive heat or cold. Even an ant did not feel, what to speak of the human and demigods. So people did not feel its natural punishment, just like, we go to different places at different season. If it is summer, okay, go to cool place. If it is winter, go to hot place. Like, okay, you want to go to Miami. So Karandara said that there also temperature has reduced. Okay, it has come to 50 or something like that. Then we'll go there like that. So nature can change at any time. At any time, you are not controller of nature. You are under the control of nature. That we forget. This is our illusion in the third district. We are under the control of material nature fully, 10%. And still, we are declaring independence. What kind of independence you have got? Any kind of independence can be finished by one kick of nature. And still you declare independent. You cannot be independent at all. When you go above the control of the material nature, then you can say that you are independent. But they don't know the truth. This much fact also they do. And nature is controlled by God. That is also, they don't know. Devi Kesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratya Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, verse 14. Just like police force. Police force is under the control of the government. And you are under the control of police force. Everyone knows it. So how you can get out of the police force when you are not a criminal? That's all. Very simple. And who punishes you? The government. Who is above the police force? Similarly, nature is like police force of Krishna. This material nature. As soon as you become irreligious, making friendship with Kali, by breaking four regulative principles and his friends, then you will be punished. Nature will punish. There will be severe cold. There will be this blast, that blast, no production, famine, pestilence, so many things. Nature can disturb you. Natural. That's called Adidayika Klesha, which is beyond your control. Adidayika Klesha. If the Pacific Ocean within a second overflows your, say, what is that, the bank, Los Angeles, okay, town, then what can you do? What your scientists can do? Nothing, sir. But it can be done at any moment. What is the difficulty? One big wave, skyscraper building, all skyscrapers will be finished. So that is called nature's disturbance. So there are other disturbances also you have. This is called natural disturbance. Then other disturbance is that your body is the source of so many disturbances. Even you don't feel nature's disturbances, then your body friend, which you have taken so friendly that my body is everything. Exercise, keep this body very perfect to eat meat and drink. But this body will give you trouble. The mind will give you trouble. This is called Adhyatmika Klesha. Everything is analyzed, you see. Adhyatmika and Adibhautika Kleshas. You don't create any enmity, but your neighbor will be enemy unnecessarily. Your friend will become enemy. Your brother will become enemy. Your son will become enemy. There are so many instances. This is called Adibhautika Klesha, disturbance by other living entities around you. Somebody's dog can become enemy unnecessarily. You are passing the road and the dog is so faithful, he become your enemy. How? Huh? Why you are passing here? Why you are passing in this road? You see, the mosquito will be your enemy. The bugs will be your enemy. The insects will be enemy. You go on killing with spray. What you will do? So many enemies, so many trouble is being created. Who has created? The nature. The nature. Nature is the police force of Krishna. You haven't got to create, but nature will create to give you disturbances because you are irreligious. So this is your position. And you are thinking, we are very happy in this material life. How? Why we cannot call them rascal? You tell me. Rascal means muda, nonsense rascals. So in the beginning, I said all these rascals. So are they not rascals? No. They are harassed in so many ways. Still they are thinking, we are making advance, we are happy. Just see. So the whole situation is not full of rascals. They don't know. They are accepting unhappiness as happiness. This is called Maya, illusion. Maya Mohita Jiva. You cannot get out of this illusion and mistakes unless you surrender to Krishna and become liberated. Devi Hesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya. Mam Evaye Prapadyate Mayam Etham Tharantite. This is the medicine. This is the only counteraction. Suppose you are being harassed by the police, you are put into the prison house, and in so many ways you are being harassed by the criminal department. How you can get out? You simply file a petition. Sir, I am now experienced. I will never commit this criminal act. Kindly excuse me and get me released. That's the only way. Similarly, you can be very proud that I don't care for God. There is no God. I am God. You are God. You can go on talking nonsense like that. But the Maya will give you so much trouble. But if you are sane man, then you will admit that, oh, this was a wrong thing I have done. Please excuse me, my Lord. And then it will be possible. But in this age of Kali, in this Kali Yuga, very strong Kali, the age is very strong and deteriorated. In spite of our daily class, daily instruction, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, chanting Hare Krishna, the Kali is so strong, capturing, please come under my control and be killed. Please come under my control and be killed. Yes, I will go. This is going. So Yudhishthira Maharaj and his brothers, they stop. Now the Kali Yuga has begun. Drishtva, Sprishta, Praja. All the citizens in the land. Now we have done our duty. Now let us retire, Baba. The next king, Maharaja, the grandchild, Parikshit, he will do his duty. So it is the duty of the king to see, to give the protection from this onslaught of nature to make the life successful. That's the duty of a king. That's the duty of the father. That's the duty of the spiritual master. That's the duty of friends and relatives. Then one should cooperate. One should give protection, just like these children are there. If the father, mother, and the teacher, they don't give these children protection, then what is the future hope? So unnecessarily so-called education will not help. Let them become Krishna conscious. That is the duty of the government. In God we trust. The American currency, it is written. Government slogan it is. Is that the slogan, in God we trust? So this is a slogan. But it is a duty of the government also that they are using this slogan. But actually, what we are doing about people's education, that they may know what is God and then trust them. Are we educating? You are putting a slogan in the currency that, okay, in God we trust. But in your education system, do you teach the citizens in the childhood that what is God and how to trust them? Trust Him. Everyone is godless. And still, as a matter of fashion, we are writing in God we trust. This is another cheating only. Nobody trusts in God and they write in God we trust. And unless, Srila Prabhupada writes, it is impossible to even understand that they are cheating and there are cheaters and cheated.
Now you see. So if people become enlightened, then everything will fall into place. If the people will become enlightened, no, we are not going to accept this piece of paper as $1,000. We must have gold worth of this. So many things will be solved immediately. So many things. But because we agree to be cheated, the cheaters are cheating and things are going on wrong. But this is called Kali Yuga. We are experiencing that. And Yudhishthira Maharaj aptly understood the Kali Yuga and, decided to become Krishna conscious. And in our Kali Yuga, today's life, current life where we are living, by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the current Acharya Parampara of ISKCON, especially Srila Prabhupada and our dear Guru Maharaj, we need not give up our profession, family, or place, or city and go somewhere. Wherever you are, whatever you are, continue to be what you are, but keep Krishna at the center. Be a grahastha rather than grahamiti. So that instead of living like cats and dogs, we will live like devotees. That's all is required. Add chanting of this. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Worship Gaurnita, I read Prabhupada books, attend this Srimad Bhagavatam classes. What is the difficulty? Then all Kali will, get out of your life. And then you will find the peace and prosperity naturally, without any difficulty, without special endeavor for that. Thank you very much. Any questions or comments or realization, please do share with us. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Thank you very much for the association. So we'll resume our Srimad Bhagavatam class tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Till then,
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
प्रभु जी, स्वामी श्रीधर के अनुसार धर्म, अर्थ, काम तथा मोक्ष जीवन के चरम लक्ष्य नहीं है, तो उनके अनुसार जीवन का चरम लक्ष्य क्या होना चाहिए? जैसे जब तक आदमी मोक्ष प्राप्त करने के लिए धार्मिक प्रवृत्ति का होना या धार्मिक कार्य करना, फिर जीविकोपार्जन के लिए आर्थिक उपार्जन करना जरूरी है, तो फिर इसमें उनके अनुसार जीवन का चरम लक्ष्य क्या होना चाहिए? मोक्ष प्राप्ति के लिए धार्मिक कार्य करना ही पड़ेगा।
जीवन को मोक्ष प्राप्त करने के लिए या मनुष्य को क्या करना चाहिए? धर्म, अर्थ, काम, मोक्ष नहीं करना चाहिए, क्योंकि कृष्ण भगवान ने जाते जाते ये कह गया कि सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य माम एकम शरणं व्रज। सब जो धर्म कार्यों को आप छोड़ दीजिए, छोड़ करके माम एकम शरणं व्रज, मेरे शरण में आप आइए। यही कृष्ण भगवान का आखिरी कंक्लूजन श्लोका जो श्रीमद् भगवद गीता के द्वारा हमें वो ये दे रहे हैं। तो आपको ये धर्म कार्यों के अंदर अपनी समय नष्ट करने का कोई आवश्यकता इस कलयुग में नहीं है। इसलिए आपको क्या करना चाहिए? आपको केवल श्री कृष्ण भगवान का चरण में अपने आप को समर्पित करना चाहिए। किस तरह वो समर्पित करना चाहिए? वो स्वयं कृष्ण भगवान ने 500 वर्ष पहले श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु का रूप में आकर के हमें जिंदगी में जी करके प्रैक्टिकली वो दिखाया कि भक्ति योग को अपनाओ, कृष्ण भावनामृत बनो, बाकी कोई धर्म कार्यों का कोई आवश्यकता नहीं है, क्योंकि आप सनातन हैं, इसलिए आपका धर्म भी सनातन होना चाहिए। ये धर्म, अर्थ, काम, मोक्ष जो है ये सनातन नहीं है, ये सब जो है अशाश्वत है, लेकिन आप शाश्वत है, इसलिए आपको धर्म भी शाश्वत होना चाहिए। इसलिए कृष्ण भगवान ने ये भी कहा भगवत गीता के अंदर, ममैवाम से जीव लोके जीव भूत सनातना, जीवा जो है वो सनातना है। और सनातन जीव का सनातन धर्म क्या होता है? धर्मम तो साक्षात भगवत प्रणीतम, तो भगवान का चरण समर्पित करना ही धर्म है, ना कि ये धर्म अर्थ काम मोक्ष नहीं है हमारा कार्य। इसलिए जीव को चाहिए कृष्ण भावनामृत को स्वीकार करे, हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र का जप करे, भक्ति योग के अंदर गृहस्था का जीवन को सफलता पूर्वक करे, अपने आप उसको जो कुछ मिलना था वो मिलेगा, और वो मोक्ष और उससे भी ऊपर बढ़कर, मोक्ष से बढ़कर कई चीजें हैं जो वो प्राप्त करेगा इस भक्ति योग के अंदर। बहुत ही अच्छा सवाल है, थैंक यू।
धन्यवाद प्रभु।
So we'll resume our Srimad Bhagavatam class tomorrow, 8 o'clock night. Till then, Grandra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
जय
Patita Pavan Srila
Jai.
Prabhupada ki jai.
जय।
Vaishnav Pranam. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyaeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Jai Shri Guru Maharaj ki jai.
जय
Jai Gaur Premanande.
हरि 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 हरि
हरि
बोल।
बोल।
Jai